Hello, guys. I'm Lucas with the TPC channel. My exclusive client Sean Whalen is here with us.
How you doing?
We're about to do an autograph signing, but we wanted to do a couple quick questions. First question, man. It's so funny because people my age remember the milk commercial, and that was honestly your jump start to fame.
I had done commercials for a long time. I was doing a bunch of Little Caesars commercials, and I worked with this director called Mark Story, and probably 2 or 3 years, a lot of different types of commercials, and this was just another one in the audition sequence, and all my same guys in the lobby, but it was an improvised scene, meaning that they just gave us the peanut butter with the bread. They told us the basic premise of it and the lines, and they let us kind of figure out what we wanted to do at the end. And they said I got the job because I shoved the most peanut butter and bread into my mouth, and I was much thinner then, so it looked like a chipmunk, which they thought was funny. And the other thing is that most people got mad when they didn't win the $10,000. They were really mad and throwing stuff and getting screaming, and and I was the only one that kind of looked at the phone like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like my whole life was this moment and I screwed it up.
And who was the director of that commercial?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, and that was the thing that kind of launched him into getting his movie deal for The Rock.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I did not know.
Yep.
You've been in so many cult classics, man, but Twister. We just did the Twister Museum
yes.
Autograph signing.
Twister shirt.
How was it working with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton and all that?
I mean, those guys, see, that a lot of people ask me those kind of questions about, like, Pauly Shore, would I work with him, or a lot of times when you're in these leads in the movie, they're very busy. Bill literally had Apollo 13 come out. He was moving his status from goofy character guy to kind of leading man guy. He kind of turned the corner when Billy Bob Thornton wrote him a specific little part in this independent movie that got a lot of buzz, and people went, wow, he's actually a pretty good straight actor. Got Apollo 13, then so he was on the set of his first leading man role, plus dealing with, so there's a lot of business going on. He was very busy, and Helen is a little more introverted and quiet. That said, they were both super nice. Bill was extremely kind to all his fans. He loves meeting people. He loved going out and talking to people. And they both let us, we got terrible trailers. For 3 months you had a trailer, a little room with just a cot in it. And they both let us use their trailers to hang out in and watch movies. They were both really friendly, but I really hung out with the other people mostly. I hung out with Philip Seymour Hoffman the most, and a guy named Joey Slotnick, Jeremy Davies, and a bunch of different people. And but they were fine. They were fine. It's just one of those things. It's I can't really. But I had the best time in the world with Jamie Gertz. She's the sweetest, funnest, nicest woman ever.
Great actress.
Just amazing. Just amazing.
People Under the Stairs.
First movie,
Wes Craven movie. The tongue scene. What makeup? What was that?
So it's a prosthetic sleeve. It was like a little sleeve that they had, and I just went and just put it on top of my tongue.
Okay.
So and then they just said don't push it out all the way because you see it just went like that, and it was just sitting on top of my tongue. And then right before we shot, they glisten it up a little bit and make it look a little more gory. But yeah, that was a sleeve. And the story behind that is that when I was doing a very scary scene where the guy comes in, shoots the gun at me and everything, I dove into the wall and cut, and I said, wow, that was great. Wes said, come here, watch. And you hear me go, oh shoot, and he goes, you can't talk. So we did it again with the prosthetic tongue in, and it didn't matter what I said. I was like, whatever, and I ran on the wall. And so I said, you know what, the prop department came to take the tongue, and I go, I want it. I want to have it every day. So I wore it every single day since after that scene, which was one of the first scenes I shot. so I could actually just be free, talk, express myself, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't matter because
Wow.
I had that thing in there. And I couldn't talk anyway. So
I
it was a
love it.
great tool. Yeah, it was
Love it.
excellent, and I had it for years in a plastic bag, and I'm telling you, I have no clue where it is. I have my fingers. I have some of my fingers.
Oh,
but
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Last question. This is maybe. I mean, your resume is so big, but
Mhm.
with our family loving Friends so much, you were the pizza delivery guy in an episode of Friends.
Yes.
You just want to maybe go through that real quick. On how that happened?
The funny story about that is I knew Lisa Kudrow from Groundlings, so her and I studied comedy together. I was, we were always, whenever we run into each other, we would catch up, and she was just the year before got fired from Frasier. She was supposed to play Roz.
Wow.
And they were like, this just doesn't work the way we thought it would. Table read in the morning, lunch, after the table read, they said, we want to talk to you. She was doing it different ways, and then went to her dressing room and they said, we're going to have to let you go. I mean, and that was a guaranteed hit,
Yeah.
and she was devastated,
Bet.
that really tough. Luckily, she got to do her character Ursula on Mad About You, and then brought that over, that vibe over to Friends, which they liked. And it was early in the season, but Lisa and I had gotten into an argument about her dating, because I was marrying a non-Jewish, a Jewish woman, and I was not Jewish, and she was like, I don't think it's a great idea, and we were talking about it, and she was saying, it's just the perspective of, the Jewish culture is waning and stuff, and a lot of people feel this way, and she was, a little strict on it back then. And then, like few years we hadn't seen each other, and I, in the meantime, she married a French Christian guy, and it'd give me such a hard time that one time. And when I was on the call sheet first day, it was early. It was only the 5th episode, so it was still called Friends Like Us. So I just did a public signing. One of the signings up there.
Yeah.
And this guy said he signed a script from that episode, but it said Friends on the top, and I was like, this isn't authentic.
I didn't know it was called Friends Like Us.
It was called Friends Like Us until right before.
Wow.
And so when I was signing this guy's script, I was like, this isn't authentic because it's not.
Right.
It didn't say Friends Like Us. It said Friends. So she knew I was on the call sheet. She knew, and I went to her dressing room. And I was like, oh, I'm going to bust her balls for all that. And I knock on the door, and she literally opens the door and goes, hello, okay, all right, okay. It was so great. And for some reason, because I spent all the time with the women, I had no scenes with the guys. They were completely separate.
Yep.
So Lisa and I were hanging out. So she always went out to lunch with the ladies, and I was at lunch with Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox for 5 days.
Wow.
And they were sitting around talking about life and relationships and, sex lives and things, and I'm just going, this is crazy. But they were just fun actresses like I would on any other thing. They hadn't blown up, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. They were all very nice to me, and, and it was great seeing Lisa again. So it was great.
Sean, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks, guys.